Should you draft Rashee Rice in fantasy football this year? Well, let's talk about it. Much like a knock-knock joke, when it comes to Rashee Rice, half of my points are just open-ended questions. Listen, Rashee Rice was absolutely electric to begin last year. He averaged 21.6 PPR points per game. 21.6 through 3 weeks. That is wide receiver 1 value. That is not even wide receiver 1. That's top 5 wide receiver value. But then Patrick Mahomes broke his leg in half and Rashee Rice freaking died, and we haven't seen him in the last 5 months. So the main question then is, what is it going to be like for Rashee Rice coming back off this injury to a Chiefs offense that is a little different from the one he left? Listen, Rashee Rice is young. I don't think the injury is going to slow him down at all. But I am worried about, what kind of role he's going to take on this year in the offense. Listen, if Rashee Rice had a full year last year, I don't think I would be having this question. Because last year, it looked like Rashee Rice was primed to establish himself as the new Tyreek Hill for Patrick Mahomes. But then he got injured. And the question is he going to step back in to that, bona fide number 1 wide receiver role that it looked like he was establishing himself as at the beginning of last year? Because listen, Xavier Worthy has broken out by now. Xavier Worthy has gone through his Rashee Rice year 1 arc and is ready to be an actual contributor on this offense. Hollywood Brown is back from injury. Travis Kelce is still alive, I'm pretty sure. So listen, it just depends on is Rashee Rice going to come back and be that wide receiver 1 like we saw at the beginning of last year? Or is he going to come back and it's going to be him and Worthy, palling it up together and getting stuff done, but Rice is not putting up 21.6 points per game. And listen, at the wide receiver 20, like Rice is going right now, 42th overall player, he doesn't have to be a wide receiver 1. He just has to be a wide receiver 2 and, a middling wide receiver 2 at that. But what we really don't want to see is, him and Worthy alternating weeks where they're, one of them's elite and the other one's mid or bad even. And listen, I have a lot more faith in Rashee Rice than Xavier Worthy just because I think Worthy could be, a lot of what they did with Worthy last year was design plays. It was either design plays or go do cardio and maybe we'll throw you the ball. And I think that, Rashee Rice could come back in and step in as, the consistent target guy. Well, Xavier Worthy could be a bit more of a gadget guy, give him some carries now and then, or like a field stretcher guy where, he runs deep and you either throw it to Rashee Rice across the field or you throw it deep to Xavier Worthy. Because of that, I have a little bit of faith in Rashee Rice. I think, as long he doesn't sound like he's going to get suspended, which is also something I probably should mention. And I think, B- sounds good to me just because I don't know what this Chiefs offense is going to be, but I'm pretty sure Rashee Rice is going to have a pretty